Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside and this week's nursery tour. Spring is only just a few mere days away officially, but it has sprung here at the nursery. The tulips are in full bloom right here in front of the shopping area. This is the Super Collider blend from Color Blends. Ordered it last summer, I guess, from Color Blends. Planted them in November and voila, they are gorgeous. We planted this Super Collider blend in multiple areas at both the house and here at the nursery. This is the area that gets the sun latest in the day right now, so these are the last ones to bloom. The ones in the berm who get the sun longest and earliest in the day are almost finished, but these are absolutely gorgeous and stunning, and I love them. They're very, very cheery with their red and their yellow and their purple. People have asked, Color Blends, anybody can order from them. So if you're interested in spring flowering bulbs, highly recommend going to Color Blends. What we're going to do is we're going to head through the nursery because we are cautiously very optimistic about planting annuals in the ground. I have been doing that, but I'm also prepared to cover them or bring them inside if we get freezing temperatures, which could very easily happen. So remember, you need to know, kind of have an idea of what your average last frost date is. If you don't, just go to Professor Google and say, what is my average last frost date? And then put in your zip code. This is an average. The frost could go basically like 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after that date. It is a guideline. You know, weather is very unpredictable around here.
And we do have an handy tool on our website.
And we do have that handy tool on our website, so you can go to the website and check that out. Now, if you did not sign up for our emails, you probably want to click on the link below in the video description because we have a great March Madness special going on with the annuals right now, and we want you to take advantage of that. So if you want free plants, all I'm saying, head on over, sign up for our emails, and you will get all the details on that. We are going to head on in to the greenhouse, but look, I've showed you this red bud a couple of different times. Just want to kind of show you the progression. So this is the Rising Sun red bud, which is a great spring flowering tree. What you see is a combination of the buds, right? So these flowers have not opened up yet. These are the sweet little pink buds that a red bud, hence its name, does. And then you can start to see where it's going ahead and putting out some new leaves. Rising Sun is really fun because it has all these different shades of yellow and orange and chartreuse and a green. So it has the colors of a rising sun. Once the flowers are done, then all of those beautiful little heart-shaped leaves will come out. It's going to be a max about 10 to 15 tall and wide. Really nice, beautiful canopy on that. We have a couple of those. Now, let's come on in here to the greenhouse because this is where the fun action is right now. So many things going on, right? So we've been in here multiple times the past couple of weeks, month or so. I tell people, like, this whole table is great for cool weather plants, right? So if you're dying to plant right now, these are the plants that I'm putting out in the garden and in containers, and they're doing great. We've done the Nemesia, we've done the Alyssum, we've done Osteos, and they are all hanging out doing really well. This Laguna Compact Blue with Eye was so popular last year. We could not keep it in stock. I haven't planted it yet, but that's just because, you know, time is fragile these days and I just haven't gotten to it. But this is a lovely, beautiful plant. Nice mounded habit to it. It'll go 8 to 12 inches tall and basically wide. Nice mound, beautiful flowers that last a incredibly long time. So March Madness, if you're a Duke fan or a Kentucky fan, then there you go, you got that blue. Now, what that's new down here are some annuals. So we're going to go through, and I want you to look at them with me because it's just such a fun display. These salvias. So we started bringing down the rockin' salvias. If you're looking for a great pollinator attractor or a hummingbird attractor that the Japanese beetles don't like, then you need to go with the rockin' salvias. This is, this particular one right here is the Rockin' Deep Purple. one of my, well, they're all my favorites, so I'm not even going to say that, but a really deep, deep purple. They improved this last year, I believe it was. So it's much more compact and has a better growth habit than the original deep purple salvia. That one was a little wild and woolly. This is nice and tight and compact like the other rockin' salvias, but really deep, deep purple. Hummingbirds go nuts over it. Of course, we have the Goldilocks rocks. These would be beautiful paired together, right? So you can do this in the landscape, in a container. You've got purple and yellow, I mean, classic. To go with that as well, we have the Superbena. So this is a Superbena Sparkling Amethyst. You're just gonna have to look at the picture because she's not blooming yet. This one, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the later bloomers, but it is a great time to go ahead and start thinking about your verbenas. This is a root that's already coming out. The verbenas, the Superbenas from Proven Winners, that's why they're called Superbenas, because they are like super. They are very vigorous. If you put your verbena in a pot, make sure you've got a good sized pot with lots of potting soil, right? You don't want to skimp on the potting soil because you want your roots to go and explore and be very happy. Of course, verbenas do great in hanging baskets, the landscape, you name it, they do really well. So this is kind of the purple and yellow combo right here. You could absolutely pair all three of these together in a container or the landscape. I'm assuming this was Cece that put this together, which I just adore. This, of course, is one of those Michael Carr, the strawberry/succulent planters that has 8 holes around the side and then a nice big hole that will hold a gallon in the middle. So I love how she paired it. She did the... So, okay, so it could have been Alyssa. Is it either Cece or Alyssa? It was one of my ladies that did an amazing job. I love this. So it is that Laguna Compact Blue with eye all around the outside and then the Goldilocks rocks in the middle. They do have 2 Goldilocks rocks here. This would be such a really fun planter combo to put together. I love this idea. So that is, that's really fun. Now this one, okay, this is the Cat's Pajamas Nepeta. If you remember just the other day, I was in the Gatsby Gal bed working for 2 days. And when I planted that bed, like originally, I had cat's pajamas in there. I noticed that I had some of them come back, but I think I've lost maybe 1 or 2. And I really do contribute that to the gardener and not the plant because I didn't feed and do what I was supposed to last year. So if you don't hurry up and get out here and get these Nepeta, then I am most likely going to be grabbing a couple of these to replenish the ones that I lost. Very early spring bloomer. Now this is a little bit advanced because it's been in the greenhouse, but long blooming. Your pollinators go nuts over this Nepeta. Since it is a Nepeta, it is more deer resistant, more cat resistant. Well, I get not really cat resistant because it's a cat mint and cats love it. So you might have a cat kind of like sniffing and rolling around it. I meant to say rabbit. So deer and rabbit resistant, has a nice minty fragrance to it. It smells great, and your honeybees especially love this plant. So if you're looking to attract your pollinators, that is a really good one to do. There's, and forgive me, I don't remember what your handle username is on YouTube, but you desperately want me to talk about the guara. So here I am talking about the Carolee Petite Pink Guara. I do love this plant, right? So you're like, show the guara some love. All right, I'm showing the guara some love. This is an example of a plant that we sell as an annual, but it is actually a perennial for me. So how do you know if an annual is going to be a perennial for you? So we're going to see if the camera can zoom in on here. This is why we love Proven Winner tags. They have the best information. So on the back of the tag for every plant, it will say annual except in zones, and then it tells you. So this particular one says annual except in zones 6A to 10B. So if you're in a zone 6A to 10B, guess what? This is not an annual, this is a perennial for you. This particular guara is, as its name suggests, the petite pink is a petite guara. It's only going to be 14 to 20 inches tall. Some guaras can get really big. I mean, they can get like 3.5 feet tall. Gorgeous pink flowers. Look at that. Stunning. Now this plant absolutely will fill out, get nice and thick, and it is a continuous bloomer. Once your stalk gets like really long, and because it starts at the bottom and it blooms up, I go through and just trim them. I mean, like maybe once a month. I just clean the plant up and it just continues to bloom. So this is a beautiful plant that you can use in the landscape. You can put it in a container. It is a great thriller, so it's going to be your height in the container. Gorgeous. Another example of an annual that we sell as an annual that is a perennial, of course, is the ever beloved lemon coral sedum. This too is going to be a perennial. This is zones 7A to 11B. So if you're in zones 7A to 11B, this is a perennial for you. In that same bed that I was just talking about, the Gatsby Gal bed, I have the lemon coral. So this is going to be a gorgeous ground cover if you put it in the landscape. If you put it in a container, it actually has a spiller kind of habit to it, because if you put it on the edge and it spills over. One of our very first videos, it was the very first video we ever did with Proven Winners, was this combo right here, and it is still one of their most popular videos, is you pair the lemon coral sedum with vermillionaire. Vermillionaire is my #1 plant for the hummingbirds. People will come and they're like, I need the hummingbird plant. This is what they're talking about. Vermillionaire will get some height to it, 18 to 28 inches tall. The 28 is going to be more in the landscape, but you can see here is a full flower right here. This is what they look like. It's not very big, but it is perfect for a hummingbird to get in there. So you have got the height and the color off of the vermillionaire, and then that beautiful contrast with the chartreuse of the lemon coral. Great. We did this in a container. That's what we did for Proven Winners. But you could do this in the landscape container, whatever you want to do. Even like if you have a window box in the full sun, this would be a really fun combo to do. Mass planting of vermillionaire in the back and then put lemon coral all on the front. Boom. Easy and stunning, and your hummingbirds are going to love you for it. So there is that. Of course, the Silver Falls. The Artist Blue Ageratum was last year one of our surprise plants, how well it did in our North Carolina Zone 8 climate, and just bloomed continuously. It is just now starting to bloom. I would say it was relatively drought tolerant. This is not a fussy plant. I never pruned it. I may fertilized it once in the season, not very much. Now, coming back here is really the rest of those rockin' salvias. They just brought these plants down, like 2 days ago, and they are already starting to sell like crazy. One of the absolute most popular salvias, and rightly so, is Rockin' Playin' the Blues. Now, Rockin' Playin' the Blues has a different bloom type than the other Rockins, and it has more of a silvery blue foliage to it. You can always tell this just by looking at the plant, the difference. And I know Jerry's zooming in, but I'm gonna reach over real quick and grab, this is the unplugged pink, because I want you to see the difference in the foliage, right? There is a color difference and there is a bit of a texture difference. The unplugged pink is more of a, has more of a texture to it, right? A little bit of a rougher feel to it. And then the Playin' the Blues does not. But nice crystal blue flowers on this. I have never seen so many bumblebees on a plant. This is the plant. This too, if I'm not mistaken, so many of these plants, especially when you're in the warmer zones, they will be perennials. Yeah, it's a perennial in zone 7A to 10B. So if you buy this, you have a mild winter, especially if you're a zone 7A, because you can be on the border, it's gonna come back. Just cut it to the ground in the wintertime, late fall, and then just wait patiently and it'll sprout back. Hugely popular. If you want them, come get them.
And I figured a Calibracoa, which one is it, that new one, the pink lemonade or prism
Pink lemonade?
Yes.
That would be fun.
In a container. It was the thriller.
So, because Jerry's not mic'd up, so he paired for a customer the Rockin' Playin' the Blues as your thriller, and then the Super Bells Prism Pink Lemonade. Yeah, simple. Keep it simple, sweetie. You don't have to be complicated at all.
Blues and the yellows and the pinks.
Blues, yellows, pinks. Absolutely classic, for sure. Now, what I'm going to be using the unplugged pink, this is going to take a star roll in the signature garden this summer, so be on the lookout. I'm going to be using a lot of the unplugged pink. This is going to be a little bit on the smaller side, not quite as tall as your other guys, because The unplugged pink is 14 to 30 inches, so more like 14 inches in a container. When you see that higher number, that means like in the landscape, unrestricted. Whereas Rockin' Playin' the Blues is 24 to 48. Rockin' are big ones, and then the unplugs are a little bit more petite. So there's those, and then my shade people. A lot of times we get people that are like, you know, I want flowers, I want color in the shade, but there's no plants that'll do it for me. Yes, there are, and there's a spider web. I keep dancing through it. So if you see me doing invisible karate, that's what I'm doing. This is Rocapuco Tropical Shades. Now, isn't it interesting because you look at the tag and it looks more orange, but then look at the flower. It's more of a pinky coral color. So the Rocapucos are double impatiens, and you can see, I'll let Jerry just kind of like pan through here and show you all the different colors. But this is a double impatient. It is most definitely a shade impatient. So for me in a zone 8A here in North Carolina with my heat humidity, I can do a couple of hours of morning sun, 3 to 4 hours of morning sun, and then it's in the shade for the rest of the day, especially in the afternoon. Impatience, good thing to know. They hate to be fed, right? So this is not like a petunia or a calibrachoa that needs a ton of food. It likes to be left alone, and gorgeous, nice big mounded habit. We went ahead and brought down begonias. We have the double ups, and we have the surefires, and we have the selenias, and we have the double delights. We got them all right here, y'all. Now, your surefires and your double ups, they will do sun to shade. So let's have another tutorial about tags. So on the front of a proven winner tag on the annual, right here, it says, let me get my exact words, sun to shade. So you literally can put it in full sun, or you can put it in full shade. You can put it anywhere in between. The number right there is your height, okay? So that gives you an idea. Gorgeous, low maintenance. I will forever have these begonias in my garden in some shape, form, or fashion. Selenias are new this year to Proven Winners. It's not a new plant, but it is new that Proven Winners added it to their line. There's a couple of different colors. Last year, I trialed the Selenia Yellow. This is a nice, soft, buttery yellow that has like a mounded trailing habit to it. I found it did really, really well in my hanging basket. In the thick clay soil, it didn't do really well. Now, if you have a bed that's been really amended, then I would say try that. But if you have just straight clay soil in a certain spot, it's probably not going to do really well. But in a container or a hanging basket, amended soil, it does great. Beautiful. And there's red, there's like chocolate orange, you name it, they have them. Bringing down petunias are coming along quite nicely. This is, well, let me find the one that has the bloom on it. The Bloomy Bloom Bermuda Beach. They improved the Supertunia Bermuda Beach this year. More vibrant color, it's a bigger flower on it. Last year I paired the Bermuda Beach with the new Saffron Finch. Oh my gosh, gorgeous, y'all. The color combination is great. They had the same vigor, so they played really nicely together. One didn't outshine the other. Just a great, really nice kind of a peachy color plant. Where else shall we go? I don't know. Let's see. So if you're going to do your, come over here. If you're going to do your annuals, just be aware of your average last frost date, and if you need to bring them in, you can certainly do that. This was somewhere over here. It's down here. Here we go. This was the pink lemonade that Jerry was talking about, the Super Bells. And so he paired that with the Rockin' Playin' the Blues salvia for that customer. But we're going to be here, of course, Wednesday through Saturdays, 9 to 3. Check out the events page. We have food trucks coming. We have the owner of Power Planter, Mr. Greg Newald himself, will be here on April the 13th doing a free workshop for Power Planter. So if you have any questions or thoughts, or you just want to see what the deal is with the Power Planter, Why would you buy a power planter auger that costs more money than the cheap one off of Amazon? Why do you want to invest in the power planter and not the cheapo from Amazon? He will answer all of those questions. You can ask him anything and he will tell you anything. Trust me, he's a fantastic guy. So that's April the 13th, completely free. Food trucks here, of course, on Saturdays, so check that out. Can't wait to see you. If you haven't signed up for emails, make sure you do that so you can take advantage of that great March Madness offer that we are offering for a limited time only here online. Let me say it one more time, online offer. So as always, we appreciate you. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.